Sunday morning, rain is falling. Still some color shed some skin. I don't know if those are the words, but today we're gonna go and hike. It's pretty early. It's about 8. It's a little after 8. But I don't want to journal in the house today. I would like to journal at the top of some beautiful views. So for the first workout of the day, we're going to go and get some hiking in. It's been a minute. I'm really excited. It's been a minute since I've done a good hike, like a good, nice uphill hike where I have to put hiking shoes on so I don't slip and, You know what's so crazy is I'm actually way less clumsy on roller skates than I am on my own 2 feet. I probably fall on my own 2 feet once a week, but we're good on skates, so do with that information what you will. Started our morning water already and actually used it to make some tea, so I don't know if people are gonna be like, that's not allowed, but it's winter. So I'm still getting the gallon. Okay, I just turned it into tea. It's nothing happening. I'm just adding a tea bag. I don't have a problem with just drinking plain water. Love plain water, but tea on this run would be a lot better than carrying my water jug. So I think that's it. I don't think I gave you guys a recap last night of what I was reading in my Buddhism book, which kind of makes me a little bit sad, but it's okay. It was specifically talking about the importance of understanding the causes of your own suffering. And once you do that, you'll be able to see suffering everywhere and understand the causes and also understand the path, which I can definitely relate to. I've found that a lot of times, because I am overly self-aware, probably to the point of being self-critical, that I'm able to notice when people are anxious or masking. It could just be because I'm not neurodivergent and I've spent a lot of time masking to where it's that much more clear to me when someone is doing it or when there's a dissatisfaction that's not being addressed, and makes it very hard. So I guess that I could be an uncomfortable person to be around, because it's not that I'm telling you about yourself, but it's I'm also not able to play the game. I'm not able to wear the mask of pretending that everything is okay when it's not. So yeah, that's what we're reading. Oh, you know what? Maybe we'll take the book with us and we'll do our 10 pages up there. Oh, but we're doing policy agenda today, and I just feel like that's kind of heavy to read at the top of a mountain. One, it's heavy to carry. It's a heavy book to carry, but also I don't really want to read policy agenda at the top of this mountain. I would prefer to read my Buddhism book. I guess I could do that. I make my own rules in this thing, but I'm still acting like there's specific rules. No, you have to read this on this day. But yeah, maybe we'll just go up there to journal. Let's just keep it what it is. We need to add extra stuff. We're just going to hike, journal, and drink some tea. And then we're going to make our way down. And then our first workout of the day will be done, and it won't even be before 10 o'clock. So money. And then that way, if we don't want to go outside, we don't have to. But if we do go outside, that'd also be kind of cool. Today we're planning for the next week, which is kind of the most exciting part of this day for me, is just getting a feel for what needs to be done, what I'm going to be working on, what's going to be the focus, and then getting after it. I might show you guys the planning process. I don't know if anyone cares about that, but I enjoy it. So if you don't enjoy planning, go ahead and skip the part that's going to come after the hike, and then just meet me back at the rest of the Hard 75 stuff. But if you do like planning, it's pretty sick. All right, onward. Okay, in case you were wondering how cold it is, it's this cold. This is how cold it is. Oops. That's how cold it is. It's that cold. Okay. Look at this super cute thing that we found on the hike. Wow, I don't know why I never thought of that. So nice to be outside this early. Feel the crisp morning air. Breathe nice and deeply. I had to pee, and there's nowhere to pee out here but into nature. And I dropped my phone in the urine.
So that's the thing that happened today. That's fun. Yeah, that's definitely a thing that occurred. But I mean, how beautiful is this? It's cold. It's cold enough so where my fingers are having a hard time, which makes me kind of stressed out because next week it's totally going to be like 9 degrees. But you know what? Pulling off a 9-degree day, I think is just going to make this entire challenge that much easier because, like, what's a goon to a goblin? You know? Like, what's doing a 45-minute outdoor workout in 9-degree weather? Like, where do you go from there? I mean, I guess 8 degrees, if it got to 8 degrees, then that argument would be completely invalid. But outside of that, everything else is soup of the day. It's only up from here. I'm excited to just journal at the top. All right, we made it. This is the top. We're all so tiny and insignificant. And all these people are down here living their little lives, dealing with their own problems. Sonder. Now we journal. Okay. It's really cold. Shh. Okay, let's go. I can't feel my fingers. And I'm ready to be in the car now. So, you know, if I could teleport, that might be my superpower. Okay. We love any opportunity that we get to do a little bit of urban exploring. I kind of want to go inside, but then I also like really don't want to go inside.
That's where you're going.
What a small bathtub. How small people used to be. Wow, look at this open staircase. You really got to trust yourself. The stressful feeling of not having a hand railing where you feel like there should be one. Okay. I'd like to leave now. Just bad vibes. Bad vibes down there. In that space. Don't like that. This is cool though. Okay. I think that was a successful hike. I started this pen pal group, and surprisingly, people are actually writing letters. So it's exciting. Let's go see if we have anything this week. So that's super exciting. I think I'm gonna call it Only Pens. What do y'all think about that? All right. So we've reached a point of contention in in 75 hard. Went for the hike this morning, right? Hear me now. Went for the hike, but it took like an hour and a half to get up there. Intentionally, the goal was for it to be a 40-minute hike round trip. Like, okay, cool, we got this out. But we went the wrong way. And in going the wrong way, it ended up being like an hour and a half up there and about like an hour back down. But got to the top, journaled, had like a cool like hour break before making the trek back down. Now the conundrum comes in is that one workout or is it two workouts? Because there was an hour break. I asked you guys and someone said to me, if you have to ask, then you know the answer. So we're doing a mobility workout. The point of contention is it two workouts because I could just get away with oh God, did you hear the crap? I could get away with not doing the second one. I don't want to say get away with because it sounds like I'm trying to get away with something. I'm not trying to get away with something, but I could qualify it as, hey, I've done two workouts. But because someone, I don't want to say because someone said, but I honestly felt that way too. I was like, man, it seems like I'm getting over kind of easy. So I guess we have no points of contention. But I won't be reading anymore while I'm doing my stretching because I want to give each task kind of like its own respective like space and slot. I think the purpose is to be not inconvenient, but to kind of be inconvenient. I think it's more like a matter of personal principle. I don't know if that means that I need to start over because I've technically been doing all of the tasks, but I'm kind of reevaluating what I want to get out of every task personally. And I think that's more important to me, you know? Either way, we're getting a nice mobility workout in, which is exciting because I can feel myself becoming more flexible, even though some days are really, really hard. I feel myself dipping lower and lower, and I really want to be good with calisthenics. So it's nice to feel it kind of like transfer over. I mean, if that's the case, even talking while I'm doing the workout is like questionable. Give me your thoughts. All right, that's a wrap. Water is a wrap. Our 10 pages. We are back on Project 2025. Today, we read about the Office of Personnel Management, and overall, at least where I am, the conversation is discussing how many government employees are incompetent and need to be removed. One thing that I'm just not a super huge fan of is it almost seems like they go out of their way to create like a separation. Like they'll say, oh, progressives created this problem, or like in their America. I'll give you an example. I'll give you a really good example. Okay. So it's basically upset because it's like we can't fire anybody because they're basically saying it's become impossible to fire anybody
because of the woke agenda. Oftentimes people are accused of racism or sexism, so they don't bring it up. And so that's the reason that there's just a huge amount of incompetence in the government, is because of this basically progressive bubble of incompetence, I think they say. And one thing that really got me in talking about like managing federal bureaucracy, it says, since the turn of the 20th century, progressives have sought a system that could effectively select, train, reward, and guard from partisan influence the neutral scientific experts they believe are required to staff the national government and run the administrative state. Then it goes on to say their US system is absolutely insane, because it's like, our America, we created this. This is crazy. Their US system was initiated by the Pendleton Act of 1883 and institutionalized by the 1930s New Deal to set principles and practices that were meant to ensure expert merit rather than partisan favors or personal favoritism ruled within the federal bureaucracy. Yet, as public frustration with the civil service has grown, generating calls to drain the swamp, it has become clear that their project has had serious unintended consequences. So I'm confused, because on one hand, if we're sticking with, the purveyor of the drain the swamp quote, there's also a huge desire to make America great again. And so when did that occur? Because if you're saying progressives America started in 1883, what time are we alluding to? I'm trying to get the timeline together. It's interesting to me. So as a result, they're also saying that because of they weren't allowed to do IQ tests anymore because people were citing it as discrimination. That's another reason why they feel like the federal government is a mess. Mind you, this entire chapter, this entire section is called Taking the Reins of the Government. So they're basically outlining everything that is wrong and how they need to go about taking the reins of the government. And one of the ways would be adding tests, multiple choice questions with only one correct answer. Some questions even requiring essay replies, or questions that would regularly change to depress cheating. But it's like, I personally feel like multiple choice questions don't really determine competence. They just determine your ability to test well. And I could see how that could create a problem. One of the things that they're hoping to overturn swiftly or reintroduce swiftly is an executive order that requires agencies to reduce the time for employees to improve performance before corrective action can be taken, to initiate disciplinary action. So basically they want to be able to fire people quickly, limit their ability to appeal or anything like that, which is not, these aren't bad things, but I feel like it does nothing. If this is truly the issue, that does nothing to address how this is happening in the first place. And also haven't read anything on pay. And this is specifically for government employees. It'll get down to government employees who participate in civil service. I'm sure it'll whittle down to the everyman. At least I'm hoping that it does. I just found that very interesting. And, what I think is going to happen in the future is they're going to lean way more heavily towards contractors. They already say it multiple times that contractors are less expensive because they're not entitled to high government pensions or benefits and they're easier to fire and discipline. So, but what's needed at the beginning of the new 2025 presidency is a freeze on all top career hiring positions, and the order of protection is going to be tenure, veterans preference, seniority, and performance. So I thought that was interesting, specifically when it comes to government employees. I haven't seen anything about government employees past the managerial level yet. It doesn't seem to be focused at all on political accountability or anything like that. It's like, if you are a worker and you have a manager, this is who it's specifically referencing. So I would love to get to the part where we can see that love or desire for accountability and quote unquote draining the swamp at those higher levels. And I seem to remember in just the last couple weeks, there were a significant amount of officials who resigned when told that they would, I think it was in Florida, that they were going to be asked to show their tax refunds. I mean, their tax returns. And I thought that was absolutely fascinating, that you would have an entire group of people quit when you say, show me your tax returns. But there's like this level of insight and management and oversight to the point where I'm already seeing that they're going to be addressing unions in this book. So it's like such sharp regulation on the everyday average American. I would like to see that extend upward. But that's it. That's a wrap. I'm exhausted. Oh, we have to take our picture. Okay, now very well may not be the best time to take the picture. It may not be the best time to take the picture because I did just have like a bowl of chili. And like, is that okay? Do I have to take that? Yes, take the whole thing off. Don't be annoying. I know that I said I was gonna use the same shirt, but I'm not, okay? So sue me. All right, that's it. That's a wrap. We're gonna try this again tomorrow. We're gonna give today an 8 out of 10. 8. Let's rock with like an 8.4 because we did get outside and we were outside for a long time, which was really, really nice. But I didn't do as much preparation for next week that I would have liked as a result of being outside for so long. Did not expect it to take that long. But overall, it was a good day. I will see you in the next one.